Episode 42. Lost Years. Maya should be dead. The thought arrives fully formed, without panic or emotion, as if it has been waiting for her to catch up. The car is wrapped around the lamppost in a way that defies physics. Metal folded inward, not crumpled, but compressed, as though something pressed the vehicle into itself from every direction at once. The windshield is gone. The steering wheel is bent at an angle that should have collapsed her ribcage. But she is sitting on the asphalt. Not thrown, not crawling, placed. Her legs are folded beneath her. Her palms are flat on the ground, fingers spread, as if she lowered herself there carefully. She is breathing, fast but controlled. Her heart is racing, but not wildly. It feels regulated, like it has already been corrected once. There is no pain. That is wrong. Pain should be everywhere. Shock should be screaming through her nerves. Her body should be sending alarms she cannot ignore. Instead, there is only pressure. It presses inward, not on her skin, not on her bones, but behind her eyes. Dense, heavy, exact. Like something unseen is leaning closer to inspect whether she still fits. People are shouting around her. Someone is crying. Someone else is swearing. A phone is held up inches from her face, its camera lens black and unblinking. Sirens howl in the distance, still far away. The world sounds normal. Too normal. Maya blinks slowly. She understands, with sudden clarity, that a correction has begun. Not an accident. Not luck. Correction. She has heard the stories the same way everyone has. Half-formed. Dismissed. Passed around quietly and then laughed off. People who survived collapses. People who walked away from fires. People who came back untouched from places that erased others. People who paid later. The missing minute does not arrive cleanly. It stutters. The air thickens. Motion loses sequence. The shouting around her drops in pitch, not volume, as if the world is being played back at the wrong speed. This is not the smooth removal she has heard described. This one hesitates. Maya's vision narrows. She feels something deciding. Her heart begins to hammer harder now, not from fear, but from instinct. If this finishes properly, if the correction completes, her body will not be spared. She sees it with certainty. The bent steering wheel, the glass, the angles that do not forgive. She does not scream. She does not pray. She does not think of her parents, or her unfinished work, or the future she assumed was still waiting. She thinks one precise thought. Not now. The pressure sharpens. For a fraction of a second, she feels resistance. Not anger. Calculation. She understands this too, in the way you understand a rule when you have already broken it once. The system does not care why you want to live. It cares whether balance can be preserved. Her breathing is shallow. The pressure tightens again. She knows she has seconds at most before the decision resolves itself. Maya focuses, not on survival, on trade. Take something else. The thought is cold, clean, almost professional. Not this body, not this moment. For an instant the world holds. Sound collapses inward. The sirens flatten. The shouting loses depth. The pressure pauses, as if a weight has been set down rather than removed. Then it releases. Sound snaps back into place. Hands grab her shoulders. Someone is asking her questions. Someone else is calling for a stretcher that she does not seem to need. Maya, she hears herself say when asked her name. The word comes easily. A man kneels in front of her, his vest bright and official. How old are you? The number rises automatically, then stalls. Not because she doesn't know it, because it no longer fits. 28, she says finally, forcing it out. The man nods and writes it down. Maya watches the pen move across the clipboard. The motion feels distant, like she is watching herself from a slight delay, not outside her body, just misaligned with it. At the hospital, they say words like remarkable and unbelievable and miracle. No fractures, no internal bleeding, no concussion. Just bruising and shock. You're lucky, the doctor says, smiling like this is a story he will tell later. Extremely lucky. Maya smiles back. Her body feels heavy, not injured, weighted. When she stands to leave, her balance is off. Not dizzy, just calibrated incorrectly, like her center of gravity has shifted without asking permission. At home, she locks the door and leans against it, breathing slowly until her heart rate settles. The apartment looks familiar, but the familiarity is thin. The couch is where it should be. The table, the framed photos on the wall, but it feels staged, like a replica of a life she recognizes but has not lived recently. She goes to the bathroom and turns on the light. The mirror fogs slightly from the steam of the shower she has not taken yet, then clears. Maya freezes. The woman staring back at her is her. And not. The difference is not dramatic. No sudden aging. No shock reveal. Just enough. The skin under her eyes sits lower. The lines near her mouth are deeper, as if they have been used more often. Her face looks practiced. She lifts her hands. They look strong, capable, slightly worn. Hands that have done more than she remembers doing. Her heart starts pounding. No, she whispers, though she does not know what she is refusing. She grabs her phone and scrolls through photos. Last month. Last year. 2 years ago. The timestamps make sense. Her face does not. The progression is wrong. The slope too steep. The change too compressed. She sits down hard on the edge of the bed. A sensation washes over her. Not a memory. Exhaustion. Not the tiredness of a bad week or a sleepless night. The deep, hollow fatigue of years spent pushing forward without pause. Her phone rings. Her mother. They talk about the crash. The relief. The shock. The way the family almost lost her. Then her mother says something casually, without emphasis. That happened after Chicago, she says. So at least you weren't driving back from work. Maya's stomach drops. Chicago? She asks. Yes, her mother replies. Your job. You were there for years. Maya grips the phone tighter. I never lived in Chicago. Silence. Then carefully, yes, you did. Her mother says. You moved there after your promotion. You came back. What, 2 years ago now? The room tilts. Maya opens her email with shaking hands. There it is. Flight confirmations. Lease agreements. Project folders. Performance reviews. Years of correspondence. Years of work. Years of life. All fully documented. None remembered. Her breathing turns shallow as understanding locks into place. She survived the correction. The body was spared. The cost was paid elsewhere. She looks down at her hands again. They are steady, strong. Hands that have lived longer than the mind inside them. Maya closes her eyes. She did not escape death. She deferred it. And the years are already gone. The years do not return. That is the first rule Maya learns. They do not surface in fragments. They do not appear in dreams. They do not ache like forgotten trauma waiting to be uncovered. They are not hiding. They are gone in the cleanest way possible. Removed with precision. Maya wakes the next morning with a body that feels rested in ways her mind cannot account for. Her muscles stretch easily, like they are used to mornings that start earlier than she remembers. Her posture is better than it should be. Her movements are economical, practiced. She stands in the kitchen, reaches for a mug without looking, and realizes her hand already knows where it is. That knowledge does not belong to her. She moves through the apartment and begins noticing details that feel deliberate rather than familiar. The placement of furniture favors efficiency over comfort. The shelves are organized by use, not sentiment. Even the clothes in her closet are arranged by frequency, not preference. This is not how she remembers living. This is how someone lives when time matters. She opens her laptop. It unlocks instantly. No hesitation. No forgotten passwords. Her fingers move with confidence across the keyboard, opening files she does not remember creating. Spreadsheets. Presentations. Reports written in her voice but with a sharpness she does not recognize. This version of her was disciplined, focused, tired. She scrolls through emails and feels a dull pressure behind her eyes. Messages reference conversations she does not recall. decisions she does not remember making, deadlines she somehow met. She searches her calendar. 3 years are full. Not blank. Full. Meetings stacked tightly together. Flights scheduled with minimal buffer. Notes written in shorthand that assumes future comprehension. Her chest tightens. These were not empty years. They were expensive ones. Later, she walks outside. The city feels slightly smaller than she remembers. Not physically, navigationally, as if her body has mapped it more thoroughly than her memory allows. She crosses streets without hesitation, turns corners instinctively, stops at lights without checking. Her body knows this place. Her mind is catching up. At a cafe, the barista greets her by name. "Same as usual?" he asks. Maya hesitates. "Yes," she says, because hesitation feels dangerous. He hands her a cup without asking further. She takes a sip. Her mouth recognizes the taste immediately. Her mind does not. She sits down and opens her notebook, the one she bought after the crash. The blank pages stare back at her. She begins writing. Not memories. Observations. My body is ahead of me. Something lived my life efficiently. I survived because I had something worth taking. The words feel accurate. Cold. Correct. At 3:07, the pressure returns. It is lighter than during the crash. Not invasive. Inquisitive. Maya stops writing. She does not resist. She does not bargain. She waits. Nothing visibly changes. But when she looks back at the notebook, a line has been added beneath her last sentence. The handwriting matches hers perfectly. You asked for time. You paid with it. Her pulse spikes. She looks around the cafe. No one is watching her. No one is reacting. The barista continues wiping the counter. A couple nearby laughs softly at something unimportant. The system does not announce itself. It annotates. Maya closes the notebook carefully. That evening, she calls her mother again. They talk longer this time. About ordinary things. Family gossip. Old neighbors. Plans that assume continuity. Maya listens closely. Her mother mentions an argument they had during Maya's years in Chicago. A phone call that ended badly. Weeks of silence afterward. Maya feels nothing. No guilt. No defensiveness. No memory. Only a faint awareness that something emotional should be there and is not. That absence frightens her more than the missing years. After the call, she sits in the dark. She understands now that the cost was not just time. It was insulation. Those years absorbed stress, responsibility, compromise. They hardened the version of her that lived them. She received the benefits without the burden of carrying them. Time did not erase the work. It erased the weight. At 3:07 the next morning, the pressure arrives again. This time, it does not wait for stillness. Maya is walking when it hits. Her vision blurs. The sidewalk feels unstable beneath her feet. For half a second, the world seems to misalign. Then it passes. She keeps walking. A block later, she realizes she no longer remembers the name of the street she grew up on. Not the address. The name. She stops. Tries to recall it. Nothing. The realization settles slowly. Interest. The system is collecting incrementally now. She documents the loss that night. Street name gone. Emotional recall fading. No pain. Just absence. She flips back through the notebook. The handwriting becomes denser over time. More efficient. Less expressive. The earlier version of her had written with emotion. This one writes like a report. Maya understands something crucial. The years that were taken were not random. They were years where she would have learned to tolerate loss. Years that would have prepared her to live with consequences. Without them, she remains alive but unequipped. She attends a small gathering a week later. Friends she vaguely recognizes greet her warmly. Stories are shared. Jokes reference events she cannot place. She laughs when others laugh. Mirrors expressions. Performs continuity. One man watches her closely. Later, when they are alone, he speaks quietly. "You don't remember me," he says. It is not a question. "No," Maya admits. He nods. "I thought so." You knew me before? Yes, he says. During your missing years. Her throat tightens. Was I different? He considers this carefully. You were efficient, he says. You didn't hesitate. You didn't dwell. You made decisions quickly and accepted the cost. What cost? Maya asks. He looks at her for a long moment. People, he says. The word lands heavily. Before she can ask more, the pressure returns. Stronger. The man steps back instinctively, as if he feels it too. Maya remains still. When it passes, she realizes something else is gone. Not a memory. Preference. She no longer knows what she wants. Food tastes neutral. Music feels technical. Choices feel interchangeable. Survival has flattened her interior life. She returns home and sits on the floor, notebook open. She writes one final line that night. Survival does not mean continuity. At 3:07 days later, the pressure comes softly, almost gently. Maya understands the message without words. The initial debt has been paid. Now comes maintenance. She survived the correction event. Her body remains intact. But time has taken the years that would have taught her how to live with that survival. She stands in front of the mirror again. The woman staring back looks capable, functional, older than she feels, and younger than she should be. Maya does not cry. She does not plead. She nods once, slowly. She has learned the rule. Time can be negotiated, but the payment is never what you expect, and it is never finished.